Alright, so we're gonna take a second. And I just want you to look at what you're looking at right now. There is 50 power in this deck, and I'll explain why there's 50 power in this deck in a minute. Gotta take a second and just kind of absorb what you're seeing here. This person did well in the event. They're in the top 64. I'll link the deck list down below. I unfortunately don't speak the language and can't read it, so I can't shout them out properly. So I'll link the name in the description and a link to the deck list. But I mean, just while you're here, just look at this. We've got lots of seats. We've got Silexes. By we've got Silexes, I mean we're playing every Silex, and we're playing just about every seat. And yeah, this is a list. This is certainly something you can do in the game of Eternal. Now, I guess I'll spill the beans and explain what's going on here. You might have figured this out by now, but Eternal's card draw and like opening hand system, it's not actually random. The first hand will be random, but the second one actually kind of guarantees that you only have like 5 power max. And usually what happens is when you're playing a deck like this, your hand will actually, your opening hand is always going to have some spells and stuff in it. So the idea is if we're only playing 25 actual spells, well, we've now narrowed down our chance of having Transpose in our opening hand by a lot. Now, this doesn't make sense, and it doesn't look like it should work, but it does, and that's kind of the funny part. Once again, kudos. They made top 64 with this. In that event, I went 0-5 and Alt F forward, but you know, maybe this is the list I should have been on, because this is just I love to see stuff like this. This is someone taking just like an idea and just pushing it to the max, which is just always one of the greatest ways to start when you're brewing. So yeah, like one of the main things you can do in a World Pyre deck is play Transpose so you have Aegis and protect your face. Then play World Pyre, and hopefully it's safe. And thanks to our power base, it's almost always going to be turn 6, we can play 8 of the Horu, which is one of the more important cards we could be playing. And, yeah. That's what the deck does. There's some other things going on here. This is probably one of the few decks where the end is near is actually good. And that's what we're doing here, so you can discard the top 10 power cards from your deck, and you'll still probably draw power after that, but, you know, if you're ever able to protect this, Nakova and Malad is not something to turn your nose up at. But, oh, this list is spicy. We've got Seed of Creation, so in case you didn't have enough power with the 50 power, you can draw even more, and that's cool. And since it's drawing non-power cards, you can actually kind of chain these and really sort of pop off with it. The 2 damage actually happens. And then, yeah, so I'm struggling to like go through this deck tech because it's so great. We're playing Rhyme-Scale Draconis, which honestly has been one of my favorite World Pirate cards, so I'm happy to see that here. We have 2 Shenra Speaks, so a grand total of 5 removal spells in this deck. And we're just trying to like cheese people with 8 of the Horu. So it's a struggle, but eventually you can just like chain some Channel the Tempests and win. I can already see what kind of matchups this list would struggle with. Like, if you gain enough life against this deck, you're not gonna be able to do enough damage to kill people before they like remove your threats. But you know, it's really cool. I'm excited to try it out. Patra and Marley's cool, I guess. You can use 10 of ordeals to the end is near, and then we're not really playing that many minions, so I don't really know how much power you're really going to abuse with Catra, but hey, you know, we can do it, and then Marley being able to silence or kill stuff is cool. Very smart using Marley. Usually I would use something like, usually in this slot I would play like a Furnace Mage or a Burglarize. I never even considered once that Marley would be a good option, but honestly, Marley's really busted, so even if you... Maybe in this list it's not as crazy, but I could just imagine the application in Throne, like, what if you had a Marley in play and you reaped? But I'm kind of getting off track here. The only other card is Wrath of Kyphus, and I assume this is here so you discard a bunch of power and draw a fresh 7. And other than that, that's the list. Let's play some games with it. I'll copy-paste their name in. See that. See if it lets me. It does. Alright. This deck mulligans like crazy. You just mulligan until you get Transpose. And would you look at that? Get some music going here. Patrick Chapin taking his time, thinking about his keep.
It's written right here.
Fortunately, not gonna have a turn 4 World Pyre this game. Oh, maybe we will. We need a Primal here. Hey. So it'll be turn 5. I think he's on equalize.deck. I think we can just get rid of Seed. Yeah, we'll do Seed here.
Retribution.
Oh, he did the thing. Goes for the attack here, a good rhyme scale for us will happen. Probably a Grodov's Burden coming down or something. Timescale Dracona's doing its thing here. Oh, we saved this card to draw 7 in case you're wondering why I'm not using it. Our deck is 50 power and I don't need more. One perk of this deck is you're never going to miss a land drop. Or, I'm sorry, a power drop. Get some power out of here. Crack his face here. And we're like that. Our top card is already a power. That didn't take long. Very amusing. This is a fast spell, so we'll just wait. Fortunately, gonna overdraw a little bit here. I guess we probably want a broker here. I'm gonna broker a Marley. Am I supposed to broker channel? Yeah, it is channel. I could grab Marley and silence this, but we can just, like, do that later. Plus, we might be incentivized to wipe this board. Although we're getting the homie here.
Close your eyes. Listen.
As I'm sure you know, the homie is the canon name for this card. Hey, Squilliam, I'll do that after this game.
The ritual is complete. I bring a boon.
Well, fortunately, we got the best possible matchup for this deck. So... yeah, it's pretty sweet that it worked, though. Alright, 30 seconds of plank. That's 30. Aw. Well, that's not good. Well. Hope we keep it.
Stand back.
Gonna draw some gas this turn. Save that. Sure, there's not everything we want to actually be
You will pay for your crimes.
like there's some cards we don't care if we lose our Aegis over. But I think I will go ahead and grab Broker here. Okay. I wasn't really expecting this. So now with symbols, we're gonna have more untapped power on turn 4. Keep in mind that Katra is a 4-drop, and Severin is a 6-drop. So anything we put in that slot needs to be a 4-drop. And we want to broker a channel, otherwise we won't have enough damage. So I have to play this so I have an untapped Pyre. I might not actually go for it, though, just so I have this... Yeah, we don't have anything to play with our Pyre, so we're gonna go for Treasure here. We'll have Aid next turn, hopefully it's enough. If he slams a Svetya here, we're in trouble. Alright. Well, we beat Argenport. Hey, a keeper right off the bat. It's just like, you know, you have to pick one card to add if you're gonna be playing a broker market like this, and that card has to win you the game. And, like, we don't have a lot of ways to clear the board, so I'm not 100% certain that Severin, like, he's good when you have other things around to win, but, you know, we're not playing Carve It. The most we can generate is 4 Griefs a turn. And we can't keep that up forever, and it also requires you to play Severin, like, and have World Pyre up to, like, World Pyre out power. So it's good, but it makes us vulnerable to more things, and, like, more things we just don't want to be vulnerable to.
We travel and study.
I'm gonna die to this.
Don't let your guard down. We are saved.
Any pump spell and we're just dead.
We are saved.
Backbreaker is also lethal here.
Our aim is clear.
Hey, Strauss, yeah, we went over it at the start, but, it's, very interesting. The idea is you cheese the redraw system so you always have a World Pyre. Could do Wrath of Caiaphas here, but it's kind of scary. I actually think it's safest to do Treasure first. We could hit an 8 of the Horu. We did not, so we're gonna go for a Seed here. We're dead to Backbreaker. Just have to hope they don't have it.
We hunt and strive.
Okay, well, they didn't have it, so... We are probably home free now. That's scary. Den of Ordeals actually has a lot of synergy in this deck. So the idea with that is we remove the top 10 power from our deck. A lot of times we get to these board stalls too, and the big dragon is one of the best, if not only, ways for us to win. We actually have lethal right now. Also, the 3 damage is pretty relevant sometimes. Since we're playing dragons too, with the Rhyme Scale Draconis, it makes treasures, which is cool. It's a card I never really... I always took it for granted, but it's good here. This deck is so much better, and having only 25 spells means you have a much higher chance of having Transpose. One of the changes I made to the deck was I added some symbols. I like symbol more for guaranteeing treasures easier, and also making sure that we can play our World Pyre on time if we want to. Which was not... Before, you were only playing World Pyre on turn 5, which I'm not super keen on. Also, what I did there might have looked like a misplay, but since we're playing 50 power, I can World Pyre away a power and not care. So, we can be very greedy expecting to top deck power, because chances are we're gonna top deck power.
We take what we need.
I'm incentivized not to play my den just yet. It'll just die. Start with treasure. I'll take that 5. Always make sure you play your power before you activate your World Pyre. I've lost games to that before. And the card you usually want to transpose second is Broker. To grab your... Broker grabs our Channel of Tempest.
Choose a path.
We're at a very healthy life total, so I can be a little greedy about this chip damage. Because now Channel the Tempest, they'll just be lethal.
It is time to end this.
We have Broker and Channel the Tempest. The reason for it, I don't know, is we cheese the mulligan system, so we're more likely to have Transpose in our opening hand.
Wield the blade.
Easy. We knew we'd top deck power. Who was I kidding?
Whatever you need.
Never a doubt. Nah, this is fine.
Sorry.
Everything's fine. Nothing bad can happen to us. Gonna top deck another power, and we're gonna be Gucci. We got 50 power in our deck. Like, why wouldn't we top deck power? Am I right or am I right? We're the Gucci gang themselves. Never a doubt, everyone. Got lethal on board now. Can't argue with that logic, can you? No, you can't. That was on a Maul to 6. We just, like, naturally drew our Transpose, though, which is awkward. Well, to be fair, it's not really RNG when I expect to draw power. Because, well, we're playing 50 power. Like 2 out of every 3 draws is going to be power. If he's just a champ that just has every single thing, like Bubble Shield, freaking Silverblade Intrusion, just perfect protection for whatever we're doing. Didn't have it, but I usually get pretty tilted when they have both.
Fresh from the battlefield.
Do we draw first? Yeah, we do. Wombo combo. We're doing big work here.
You will pay for your crimes. Fresh from the battlefield.
My favorite thing to do in this deck is to use Denivore deals to discard the top 10 power, and then like 2 or 3 draws later, you start drawing power again. Because that's just how many freaking power is in this deck. So we played our treasure first, so that if we draw Adalahoru, we can just play it. That's so dumb.
It is time to end this.
Get him! Nakova and Malat. Double Dragon! Wait, that didn't pop Aegis? Does it just go? Oh, it just goes through? It's almost a detriment. It's a fun deck. I don't know. My other decks don't die to aggro as often. I still lose to aggro, but I pack my other decks with a ton of early game interaction to try and survive against aggro. So I would personally rather play one of those decks, but this certainly has its charm. We just, I don't know. They don't let you. You have to have a split of... There's like a cutoff, and they don't let you do any more cheese than that.
Not for coin, but for justice.
Transpose away seed here.
Kodash watches over us.
I mean, you can do silly stuff with it, but can't do the kind of silly it seems like you want.
You will pay for your crimes.
I'd personally, I mean, I'd consider something like Soul's Rest. I'm not sure if it's correct, though.
Hit me and I bite back.
Remember to play your power before you activate World Pyre. We'll see what they do about this before we attack. Certainly don't need both. And if they're not gonna have anything, I'll just attack. Oh. Oh.
We travel and study.
Treasure first. Guaranteed to probably draw a non-power. uh. Always does the World Pyre thing because you're cheesing the mulligan system. So, if your deck isn't fast enough to kill the other person, or their deck has to be fast enough to kill you, or kill your World Pyre before you go too crazy. Like, after a certain point, it's not that big of a deal if your World Pyre dies, but if they do it super early, you're kind of screwed.
Not for coin, but for justice.
I'm sure someone's done it. I don't know if they've done it to this level of success, though. Because, like, we're not doing fantastic, but we're certainly going positive. Like, yeah, I have 5 losses, 8 wins, which is pretty respectable.
We are saved.
Especially considering I haven't played this iteration before. I've played World Pyre before, but this is its own whole bag of worms.
Don't let your guard down. We are saved. Not for coin, but for justice.
Interesting. I actually think rhyme scale's better here. Without a symbol, this won't get untapped this turn. And I'd rather have a bird. Like, but there just aren't going to be great perma targets, and this just guarantees I don't take that 4 damage there. So it saved me some life, basically. And we knew we had 8 of the Horus, so like, we're gonna draw into like Shenra Speaks and stuff, probably, eventually, or, you know, get something going. So it's okay to slow down a bit. Although 8 of the Horu spam's pretty bad here, I won't lie.
We hunt and thrive.
This is better,
We are saved.
considering what we plan to do next turn. And the turn after that. I could get an attack in. Not 100% sure I want to.
It is time to end this.
Last card, Silverblade Intrusion.
We are saved. The owl's wisdom stretches far.
Yes, it is. No birds for me, but whatever. We can be birdless. Why bird more when you can bird less? Can't argue with that logic, now can you? You know what I'm in the mood for? 8 of the Horu, number 4. Didn't even play my broker first, because I'm bad at this game. I can play 2 Denevor deals to obliterate our opponent. Like a real bad obliterate, but, you know, we got it.
A touch of compassion.
I like how you still have to resolve the scout.